different areas and regions in Monster Hunter Wilds. Some of these include damp rainforest, such as the Scarlet Forest, which you can see on screen. But others, such as the one we're talking about today, is the Windward Plains. Today, I'll be talking about all the monsters that can be found in the Windward Plains. I'll be ranking them from weakest to strongest. We start with Chotacabra. Chotacabra, in my opinion, is the easiest to fight in the Windward Plains. He's the first monster you ever fight in the game, and he's kind of like the beginner who teaches you the important fundamentals. Most of his attacks are slow and are easy to target and know where they're hitting. It's easier to use weapons that have longer range against him because he doesn't really have any attacks that can hit you from that range. Despite its somewhat big size, Chotacabra struggles against weapons that involve lots of movement too. Its main weakness is fire damage, and also breaking the armored rocks it gains on his hands and arms as it attacks. Overall, Chotacabra is the easiest fight and should be pretty easy for beginners who are new to this monster series. Next up is Chemetris. Chemetris is a fire-based bird wyvern. This monster is more dangerous than Chotacabra, mainly due to its fire attacks and its very erratic movement, but still very manageable for beginners. Chemetris attacks with sweeping tail strikes and biting combos, with added-on explosive fire bursts created from its flammable substances around its body. Its tail is the biggest threat because it can ignite the ground, leaving lingering fire zones that punish careless players. But the fight can become easy once you cut off the tail. Chemetris is weak to water damage, and severing the tail dramatically lowers its range of many strongest attacks, like I mentioned before. It's not incredibly hard, but the fire pressure makes it more dangerous than the early game monsters. What you'll see on screen is the rest of my fight against it. Next up is Balahara, one of the only monsters who uses all the sandy areas in the Windward Plains to its advantage. It digs and burrows through the sand, surprising players by jumping and diving out at them. It also shoots this sort of black mucus, which affects players with this status called Water Blight, which makes it so any movement they make lowers their stamina faster and faster. It uses its very long snake-like body to have longer range with lots of tail swipes and bites, but its black mucus attacks also are tricky to avoid sometimes. There's lots of times where it also travels in groups, meaning that you have to deal with more than one at a time. As you'll see with the next monster on this list, these ones that travel in groups are pretty hard to deal with. For now, enjoy the rest of the fight. Alpha the Shogma. Now, Alpha the Shogma has always been quite a difficult fight for me because of its pack aspect. It's the alpha of a group of monsters called, well, the Shogma, and they all attack like ferocious with large sweeping attacks and very tough biting attacks. Despite them not having any sort of special ability like Balahara or Chemitrice, the fact of them attacking grouped together causes a real pain for even experienced players like me. As you can see on screen, it's right now only fighting by itself, but once you see its pack join up, you can see the chaos that ensues, as I have to try to deal with all of them at the same time. Fire and thunder damage are both effective against Alpha Bishop, especially when targeting its head and its forelegs. Overcommitting against this monster usually ends badly. One of its enjoy the rest of this fight, but I will eventually come back later once its group members come and join the fight. As you can see now, with more of its group members here, there's a lot more that I need to deal with. Right now, where I am is fine, because I'm right now in a stance where I can't be hit by more enemies. But eventually, chaos starts to happen. But for now, we're done with Alpha Bishop, and we'll just move on to the next monster, Rathian. Known as the Queen of the Skies, Rathian is one of the franchise's most reliable threats. Even experienced hunters can get tricked up by her. She uses fireballs as well as poisonous attacks from her claws and her tail spikes. One of her most dangerous moves is her tail black backflip shot. It basically just gets up in the air and sweeps a massive tail through the sky. Her attacks are pretty straightforward, but the way that she mixes them together in her fight does make her kind of tricky to kind of coordinate your own attacks around. Especially for fighters who use melee weapons, it can be hard when she's in the air. Now, when enraged, she can shoot out massive fire blasts that have a way bigger area and way more damage. One of the trickiest parts against this fight is the mix of the ailments that she gives you, as she gives you the burning ailment as well as poison, both needing different things to cure. Dragon and thunder damage are both effective against her. And if you know how to coordinate her moves correctly, you should be able to beat her without any trouble. But for now, enjoy the rest of my fight against her. Is the apex of the Windward Plains, Raydao, the lightning wyvern. Whenever Raydao appears, the whole surrounding environment changes. As you can see in the video, it's now a thunderstorm and lightning everywhere, all because of this one monster. Raid Owl is where the difficulty spikes hard in this game. This apex flying wyvern dominates the Windward Plains with its speed and lightning attacks. Its power is so strong, which, as I mentioned before, changes the whole environment. Nearly all of Raid Owl's attacks have huge range and devastating damage, and it combines aerial dives with its electrified claw strikes and railgun-like lightning strikes with its rapid repositioning, with being able to. It has a signature lightning beam, which is especially deadly because of how quickly it can fire after charging. Hunters who stay too far away often get punished instantly, along with its quicker charge attacks. It also, as you may see soon, has a huge cinematic railgun blast, which causes a huge explosion. Ice damage is highly effective against Raid Owl, and attacking the winds can reduce some of its aerial dominance. The fight demands strong timing and awareness because the Raid Owl rarely gives any safe openings for the player. But sit back and enjoy the rest of the fight, as this is our second strongest. The strongest / hardest fight, in my opinion, in the Windward Plains is Seregios, a monster returning from one of the older games. Seregios, this fight is absolute chaos. It has insane speed, quicker than that of Raid Owl, the one previously, and its aggression is unmatched in the Windward Plains. It is always constantly attacking, unless tired, which rarely happens, and its constant mobility makes it one of the toughest fights and toughest monsters. This flying wyvern attacks with rapid dive bombs, aerial cross slashes, and its razor-sharp scales, which inflict bleeding. It can shoot these skills in many ways, just by attacking with its claws, headbutting you, attacking with its wings, attacking with its tail, or, as if it didn't have enough ways to attack you, it can shoot these claws / scales out of its body straight at you with some long range attacks.
Yeah?
And as you can see now,
I can't. Recording.
Got grappled by this guy.
I can't. Recording.
But,
Recording.
like you can also see now, I now have the bleeding effect, which is a pretty hard effect to deal with. Good, just clap. But basically, what the bleeding effect does is it makes it so if I move, I take more damage. And if I don't move, I still take damage. The only way you can heal from bleed is by taking a special potion, or by staying crouched for 3 seconds. Then eventually, the timer will go down. But if you don't, even if you just stand still, you need to be crouched, or else the timer won't go down and you can take damage. The bleeding status is the main reason for this monster's toughness. But also, since it barely stays still, that's another reason for the tough fight against it. Again, like most of these monsters, thunder damage is the one that works best here. Targeting its legs occasionally slows its movement and topple it. But that is all from me. So enjoy the rest of this fight that we have. And this was my video of ranking all the monsters in the Windward Plains from weakest to strongest. Goodbye.